Hey guys, how's it going? This is Autobot JCB here again for a brand new How to Transform video. In today's video, we're going to keep on going with Transformer Cybertron because today I'm going to be showing you how to transform the 2005 Transformer Cybertron Cybertron Defense Team. As you guys can see here, I got three figures. These guys are Red Alert, Hotshot, and Scattershot. Now, in my previous videos, you guys will already know that I covered these three. However, these three versions are actually their upgraded versions after they were revitalized by the Omega frequency after they, unfortunately, their sparks were almost snuffed out by Megatron. And thanks to Bud, Kobe, and Lori, as well as the power of the Omega Lock, they were, as well as their willingness to never give up, they were revitalized, they were rejuvenated, and they were reformatted, in which they had to scan new vehicle modes, so that way they had more powerful forms, and that's what we have here. Alright, now, I'm not entirely sure what all three of their vehicle modes actually are. I believe Red Alert's vehicle mode is some type of ICBM launcher, which is an intercontinental ballistic missile. That's what ICBM stands for. I think that's what his vehicle mode is. Scattershots is obviously some type of missile launcher with this huge missile barrage. He has 22 rockets on him, plus he's got several other armaments built into him. And then Hotshot, in addition to having these cannons on the top, I think he's like some type of armored troop transport. I'm not 100% sure. The only thing I'm actually bummed out about is the fact that with as much time as it took me to find all the pieces, I still can't find this one cannon barrel for Hotshot. I don't know what it is, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who has this issue, but why is it that it's always the smallest or the last piece that you need the hardest to find? If anybody has an idea of where I can get that one little piece for a reasonable price, please let me know. Or if you guys even have an extra one laying around, get in touch with me in the comments. Let me know. I would love to know because I want to finish this set. I've been working on it for over a year. That's a little ridiculous, but I have been. All right, so get back on topic. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go over a couple of details these guys have while they're in their vehicle modes. We'll do vehicle mode cyber key powers, then we'll get onto transformation, and then we'll do bot mode cyber key abilities. Now, before we get going with that, first thing I wanted to point out is you guys will notice that all three of these guys have their own special cyber planet keys. Now, whereas Red Alert and Hotshot had Earth Cyber Planet keys in their previous forms, and Hotshot had a Velocitron Planet key, they now all have matching Autobot keys, considering that they are part of the Cybertron Defense Team. And just like with all the previous cyber keys, if you flip each one over, you'll notice that each one has a special code. Red Alert's key is UP0T. Hotshot's key is D104. And Scattershot's key is V4KT. And just like I've explained in my other videos, you could take those codes, you could type them into the Transformers fan page, and it would give you information, and I believe it will also give you like power readings and statistics for each figure. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do some, I'll give you some details on Red Alert. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move Scattershot and Hotshot off to the side. And we're going to bring Red Alert in for a close-up. Now, just like I was saying, Red Alert's vehicle mode appears to be modeled after some type of ICBM launcher. And the reason I'm saying this is because he has this giant missile that is sitting on top of him. Now, one thing I do like is that you can actually raise this up and down. It does actually go almost completely straight up, which I believe an actual ICBM launcher actually can do. And what I really like is that if you actually pull the rocket off, there's actually a button on the underside of this, and when you pull the rocket off of the launcher, it will actually make a launching sound as if he's actually firing it. And the button for that is actually just right there. And then, oh, that is actually the wrong switch. I will show you that later. That is actually for his cyber key. I guess I might as well go ahead and show you that now. So we'll go ahead and put this back on here. Actually, I'll show you that when we have him transformed. All right. So like I was saying, that can go up and down. It can be detached. It makes a rocket firing sound. Coming over to the front, you'll see that he has this very unique Autobot symbol. Now, all three of these guys actually have this, and is to signify that they are part of the Cybertron defense team. There you go. There's a good close-up of it right there. It's the Autobot symbol with what looks like wings and an arrow pointing down on it. I'm not entirely sure if that's a very common emblem. I think that was just strictly unique for the Transformer Cybertron series. But I think it's a pretty cool faction indicator, whatever you want to call it. All right, insignia, excuse me. All right, so we'll go ahead and bring that back down. Now, coming over to the front, you'll see that he's got this little canopy right here where somebody could be like up in here and they could watch where they're going. You'll see that they've got the cockpit windows right there and right there, right there and right there, and then right there and right there. Coming down to the front, he's got this huge bumper, grill, whatever you want to call it. I would imagine this could be used for like breaking down walls or something like that. Coming down the tires, you'll see that he's got these very well detailed wheels on here. You'll see that they even included the tread. They even included the bolt pattern on here and everything. Coming around to the back, unfortunately, there's not much to see. But what I do like is that you can actually, in addition to this being able to move, the rocket being able to move up and down, you can also move it off to either side. So maybe if he needs like an angled shot, he can do it. All right. So anyway, so there's Red Alert. Oh, and then one other thing, he also has this little cannon that will actually rotate, if I can get it. Oh, it actually moves up and down. Sorry about that. So it moves up and down, but it works better when he's transformed. So I'll be showing you that later on. Okay. All right. So anyway, so there's Red Alert. All right. Move him off to the side, and we'll bring Hotshot in. All right. Now, Hotshot, like I said, I believe he's some type of armored transport. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, unfortunately, I'm missing just one cannon barrel. I'm hoping to find that so I can finish this guy off. Why they don't have these as one solid piece on here, I don't know. But it is what it is. Coming around to the front, you'll see he's got this very heavy armored look. The amount of armor that it looks like Hotshot has kind of makes me think of like Tidal Wave from Transformers Armada, where virtually nothing could get through his armor plating. But obviously, Hotshot's armor wouldn't be as thick as that. Looking at here at the front, you'll see that he's got some headlights right here and here. You'll see that he's got the clear window right there. Coming up to the top, you'll see that he also has the Cybertron defense insignia right there. What I do like is that his turret does actually rotate back and forth, just like that. It can go in a full 360 degrees, and these cannons can actually raise up and down just as well. And when you insert a cyber key, and I'll be showing you all that later, these will actually open and turn into rocket pods. Now, when he's in his vehicle mode, you can actually open the front here, and he actually has rocket pods right here, and he's got two cannons that are on either side of the inside of the bumper right here. And then they just flip closed just like that. And then coming around to the side, you'll see that there's this little spot right here. Now, I don't know exactly what this is supposed to be for. I have noticed that his cyber key will actually sit on here, but unfortunately, it's not like the keyhole for activating his cyber key ability. But it's still kind of neat that he could have like drive around with a cyber key hanging off the side. I guess I don't know, but oh well. Coming around to the back, not much to see. You'll see that he's got the exhaust pipe right here. These huge, I'm guessing these are like some type of exhaust vents. I don't know. These will actually become his feet when we transform him into his bot mode. And then just like with Red Alert, come down to the tires. He's got the very well detailed wheels with the tread, the bolt pattern, and the rim setup and everything. And then I'm not entirely sure what these are supposed to be. Maybe like some gas tanks. But you'll notice, and I forgot to point this out on Red Alert, but all three of these guys actually have mini-con ports. So I suppose if you wanted to, you could hook some mini-cons up to them and give them some extra firepower. All right, so anyway, so there's Hotshot. All right, go ahead and set him off to the side. And finally, we'll bring in Scattershot. Now, compared to his little missile truck mode, I think this is like way overkill for Scattershot. I will admit, I absolutely love this design. But wow, this is way over the top compared to his other mode that he had. All right, first things first. Coming up to the top, you'll see it. We've also once again have the Cybertron Defense Team emblem right there. He's got these two massive rocket launchers, and what I love is that these will actually swivel almost completely perpendicular to how his vehicle mode sits. Unfortunately, they will not spin at a 360-degree angle, but I do love that you can spin them almost all the way around. And I love that he has all of these rockets. So I'm betting since Megatron saw those first thing, yeah, he'd be nervous. We all know how that ended. All right. Coming down to the front here, you'll see this guard right here will actually flip down, and this is actually a minesweeper, so that while he's driving around, he can scoop up mines. That way he doesn't end up blowing himself up. All right, flip that up right there. Coming right here, you'll see that he actually has a hatch that can allow a driver to get into the tank mode. Unfortunately, this does not open. I wish it did, but oh well. Coming over the side, you'll see he's got this big rifle hanging off. Now, we can actually take this off for right now because we'll be actually using that later. Coming over to the side, compared to Wheels, where the other two have wheels, he actually has these really long tank treads, which I think, even with the fact that they don't actually turn except on these little tiny wheels right here, these are incredibly well detailed. I love the consistency of the tread pattern right here. I love how they added all the detail for all the wheels, the bolts, the rims, everything. They did an amazing job with this, and I especially love that, honestly, with how compact these guys are, I love that you can barely see any, I think the word is kibble, I think is the word for like being able to see any of their bot bits, whatever. But anyway, so there's Scattershot. All right, so now comes the fun part, because now we're going to get on to transformation. And I think, considering that, I think I will actually start with Hotshot today, because he's actually always been one of my favorites. So no offense, Red Alert, but we're gonna start with Hotshot. All right, now for Hotshot's transformation, there is one difficult part in it, and I will show you that as we go. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up here, and we're going to actually pull up on his cannon, and we're going to raise it up just like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come around to the back. We're going to push these in just like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab this whole section, and we're going to pull it out straight just like that. And we'll come right here. We'll fold this down and fold that down. Now this part right here will actually become his waist, and it will sit right behind this piece right here. So we'll make sure it clicks down straight just like that. And there we have the lower half of Hotshot almost ready to go. So next thing we'll do is we'll grab right here, and we'll pull this apart just like that to form his legs. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take what was the exhaust pipe, and we're going to pull this off, because this will form Hotshot's knife. So we'll set that off to the side, because we're going to be using that in just a minute. Now this next section is actually a little bit difficult for me. I always have trouble with it. And that is actually pulling these apart because of how tight they are in this position. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab right here, and we're going to just pull sideways. Oh, there goes one. And we're going to pull off the side just like that. And then the other side. Okay, finally, it actually behaved once. That's nice. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull it apart just like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come right here. We're going to grab this, pull it down, which will form his elbow. And we'll come right here, pull that down, form his other elbow, and then flip his head down just like that. And then finally what we'll do is we'll come around to the back, we'll flip up the cannon pack, whatever you want to call it. Now, you can either have it resting on his back, or like in the show, you can fold it up so that way it sits around either side of his head, just like that. But anyway, so there we have Hotshot, transformed and ready to go. All right, and then, of course, with the knife that we took off of him, we can actually mount it in either one of these ports right here. We'll go ahead and put it in his right hand just like that. And then it just sits. I wish he would have come with two, because I think it would have been kind of cool if he could have like two knives deployed on either arm. Just kind of a double wield type of feature, but oh well. Excuse me. All right, but anyway, so there we have Hotshot. I will do all their cyber key abilities all at once, but I want to go ahead and get these guys transformed first. So anyway, let's go ahead and move Hotshot off to the side, because next we're going to bring in Red Alert, and I will show you how to get him transformed. All right, now Red Alert's transformation obviously is a lot bulkier than Hotshot's, but what I'll do my best to make it as easy as possible. All right, so the first thing I'm going to actually do is I'm going to actually come up here, and I'm going to take the ICBM, the big rocket. I'm going to take this off, because we'll go ahead and put that back on after we transform him. it gets it out of the way, makes it a little bit easier. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and raise the launcher up all the way, and we'll move it off to the side just like that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come right here, and we're going to grab this right here, and we're going to bring it out to completely out to the side. We don't want it tucked in like this. We want it actually out just like that all the way. So we'll go ahead and do that on the other side as well. Bring it all the way out just like that. The next thing we'll do is we're going to open up this compartment right here and this compartment right here. Now, this piece right here, this is actually a part of Red Alert's arm. It is pegged in right here and right here. So when you do this, you have to make sure you pop it off of these pegs. Otherwise, it doesn't really like to behave. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we'll pop it off the other peg. Come on. There we go. All right, so now we got all that disconnected just like that. We'll bring this whole section down just like this, and we'll flip his waist straight just like that. Next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and close these just like this. We'll bring these down and this down just like this. Flip this over, and then what we'll do is we'll come right here. We'll grab this blue piece right here. We'll pull it out. Now, there. We'll flip his foot up first, and then we'll flip the heel out just like that. So we'll flip the foot out and flip the heel back. And there we already have Red Alert's lower waist ready to go. All right. So the next thing we'll do is we're going to go ahead and keep this on his, what will be his right arm. So we'll go ahead and unpeg the left arm and bring it back, and then move the right arm and bring it all the way back. And then we'll go ahead and bring it down just like that. And we'll go ahead and bring the left arm back and bring it down just like that. Then what we'll do is we'll take this plate right here. We'll go ahead and fold it down as far as it'll go, which will make Red Alert's head pop out just like that. And now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and reconnect the rocket onto the launcher. And we'll bring the rocket down just like that. And there we have Red Alert transformed and ready to go. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't have a secondary, he doesn't have like a blade or a rifle mounted on him like what Hotshot and Scattershot do, but he does actually have this, which we'll be getting into when we do some cyber key abilities. So anyway, there's Red Alert transformed and ready to go. All right, we're going to go ahead and set him off to the side because now we're going to bring in Scattershot. All right, so Scattershot, his transformation is actually pretty easy. What we're going to do first is we're going to flip these pieces down right here. We're going to go ahead and flip these pieces back right here because those are actually going to be his feet. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come right here. We're going to unpeg this whole side right here, and it just fits in on this little, in this groove right here. We're going to bring it out, and we're going to turn it around. Now you'll see a peg hole right here, and there's a peg right here. We'll just go ahead and bring this down and get it seated right in there. We'll go ahead and come to the other side. Same thing. Bring it halfway down, spin it around, and peg it in just like that. We'll go ahead and turn them around because what we're going to do now is we're going to take the rocket launcher and we're going to split it apart, bring it off to the side just like this. Bring what will be his arms up, and we'll go ahead and flip out his fists just like this. Flip out. There we go. And he does have some elbow articulation, which is kind of nice. He does have a little bit of shoulder rotation. The next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and take the seam right here. We'll go ahead and split it apart so that way his legs are separate. And then finally what we'll do is we'll come right here and we'll flip his head all the way up just like that. And there we have Scattershot. Personally, out of all three of these, Scattershot is probably the easiest to transform. All right. So anyway, so there we have Scattershot transformed and ready to go. And let me bring all three of them in so I can show you what all three of them look like. There's Hotshot and there's Red Alert. As you guys can see here, compared to their original forms, these guys are way different and way cooler. Now, before we continue, I will actually show you a comparison to their previous forms, and then we'll get on to cyber key powers. So first things first, we'll go ahead and move these guys off to the side, or move them into the back here, and we'll bring in Scattershot, Red Alert, and Hotshot. As you guys can see here, way different. I will admit that I am amazed how much bigger they made Scattershot compared to, like, I figured they would have kept him roughly the same size, but wow. And yeah, I like that they kept the head sculpts mostly the same. I do like that they kept the color schemes the same, but I'm just amazed at how much bigger they made Red Alert and Scattershot and basically kept Hotshot the same size. All right, so let me go ahead and get these guys out of here. And now we will get into some Cyber Key power. All right, so now we have all three of their Cyber Keys ready to go. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, just like with Hotshot, we're going to bring him back in. So Hotshot's Cyber Key ability, he actually has a Cyber Key port right here on his back. And what that does is when you plug it in, it will actually open up both the launchers that are mounted on the cannons that are on his shoulders. Now what you can also do is you can flip over these launchers that are mounted on his legs, which will give him more rockets, and he's got drop-down panels on his shoulders, so he's got one crazy missile barrage attack. I don't even think I can count all those right now, but yeah, that's a lot of rockets, so I would not want to be on the receiving end of that. All right, so there's Hotshot's Cyber Key. All right, so for Red Alert, his key is actually pretty cool. What you can actually do is, what we'll do is we'll bring this up right here. Now his key actually plugs into this port right here. And what it does is it makes, here, we'll actually just take it off for a minute. Sorry, Red Alert. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and plug the key in, and it will actually make this pop out. I suppose this could be used as a rifle. What we'll do is this can be used to attach his accessories, which are mounted in his legs. Now, I already took mine out because mine are kind of difficult to remove if you don't. But what you can do is you can take his hammer, which has a little spring in it, similar to, I suppose, Rumble. I think that's the one who hits the ground and makes the ground shake. I think that's Rumble. So it has a little spring built into it, and that will just hook in right there. So he has a hammer action right there. Or you can actually attach his grappling claw, which will then give him some extended grab just like that. So there's one feature for his Cyber Key ability. And then what you can do is, in addition to that, you can take a Cyber Key, if I can get it unplugged. Oh, there we go. All right. And you can take the rocket launcher. Now he has another Cyber Key port right here on the back of him. And when you plug the key in right here, it will make this rocket spring open just like it does in the show. And you get that cool beeping sound like, uh-oh, you're in trouble. I will admit, the only thing I don't like about that is what line, I'm sorry, it's not a cheesy line, it's actually from a good movie, but why they would let Red Alert say hello to my little friend when he's got this big hulking rocket launcher on him. I have no idea why they let him do that. I thought it was kind of out of left field, but hey, it is what it is. And one thing I also like is that this rocket will actually fire. I don't want to fire it right now because I'll probably never find it. But anyway, so there's Red Alert and his Cyber Key ability. All right, so we'll move him off to the side. And finally, we'll bring in Scattershot. Now, one thing I forgot to show with Scattershot was that he does have his rifle, and you can actually mount it in either one of his hands, just like this. And I'm not down far enough. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right. And it doesn't really do much. It's really just cosmetic. It just gives him a little bit of detailing. So we'll go ahead and just take it out of his hand. Now, for his rocket launchers, this one will actually slide forward, which gives it a little more of a, I guess, intimidation factor because it's like up in your face kind of feature. But what I like is that you'll see that there's this ridge that actually lines up with his hand. And what you can do with his Cyber Key is when you plug it in, this whole section will actually flip open and form his rifle. And you'll see that that little pin almost lines up like a pistol grip in his arm, just like that. So it just all folds up and it folds out just like this. So it just flips out and then folds out just like that. Didn't really work when I did it by hand, but oh well. All right. And then what we can do is come over to the other side Unfortunately, this one does not slide forward. I wish it did. But this one, when you slide it forward, or when you push the key in, you will actually get... Oh, actually, I forgot you have to have his arm straight for this one. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me try that one more time. We'll go ahead and bring his arm up and get the key in. And it will actually pop up this this launcher right here. And then what you can do is you can slide this bar forward, which will actually reveal 2 rockets plus 2 triggers, which personally, I think this is way too much firepower for any one Autobot to have. Yeah, he looks like Rambo Scattershot. I don't know. Anyway, guys, so there's Scattershot's cyber key ability. I will admit, compared to their previous forms, these guys are just absolutely overhauled, for lack of a better word. These guys are incredible. I love the amount of detailing on them. I love how much firepower these guys have. And yeah, I would not want to be on the wrong end of these guys on any day. But anyway, guys, so there we go. That is the 2005 Transformers Cybertron Defense Team, Red Alert, Hotshot, and Scattershot, with an appearance by their previous forms. If you guys have any other ideas for other Transformers you'd like me to try and do, feel free to comment below. Even hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell, and I will do what I can to help you out in the future. And until then, bye.